Another round of heavy rain leads to flooding in the 4 states. We have some safety tips. Local health professionals discuss an increase in COVID-19 cases, in some cases spurred by the Delta variant.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The risk of flash flooding only gets worse with more rain in the forecast. This is KOAM News at 6. Turn now to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain over the past few days. We got the big batch late Saturday night, another batch yesterday, and then more rain for us today. And our ground is very saturated, so really any rain we get from this point on this week, we're most likely going to get some flash flooding issues. We aren't dealing with the severe weather aspect, meaning hail, wind, or anything tornadic, but we are getting the flash flooding. You can see this last batch lifting north. The heaviest rain is weakened a little bit, but still some pretty good pockets of rain, really stretching from Nevada, Girard, Pittsburgh. Here's Parsons moving into Erie, and then also back toward Independence. But because we're going to continue to get rain, that's why we have flash flood watches and warnings, which are in effect and will continue as we go through the next few days. This current batch is going to lift off toward the north, but as we go through the overnight hours, additional showers and thunderstorms increase again and start to push through. And we're going to continue to see this over the next several days. Of course, we're going to break that down for you here in a bit.
All right, see you then. The rain brings the potential for more flooded and closed roads. Those closed roads should be marked with barricades. Local law enforcement wants to remind you, do not to move or go around those barricades. It's not only dangerous, it could result in a citation. Once the storms pass and sun emerges, a lot of 4-staters will return to the water, but even after the rain is gone, it could affect local waterways. Following periods of heavy rain, river currents are often much stronger, which makes activities like floating less safe. The best safety tip, they say, is to stay off the water until things calm down.
This weekend, obviously, we had a tremendous amount of rain and the water was up quickly and fast in many locations. My advice is to wait a few days before you get on it, let it have time to go down.
And they say if you do choose to go flooding or rafting, wear a life jacket. Southwest Missouri is seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases, and some experts fear it could get worse. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more.
But our numbers have certainly taken an uptick.
Southwest Missouri is seeing a surge in COVID-19 cases. And with the Delta variant taking hold of the region, local health officials are worried the situation could get worse.
We've kind of got a perfect storm coming. We have relatively low vaccination rates, more people getting together, and a new variant out there that's contributing to the increases in cases.
At Mercy Hospital in Joplin, these numbers are starting to look familiar.
So our numbers currently are resembling what we saw in our first surge last fall. So that is concerning.
But now, those being hospitalized for the virus are mostly unvaccinated, which is why Stokes says precautions like masking and social distancing may still be necessary.
Our vaccination rate is still pretty low in our region. Yes, there is quite a concern with the Delta variant, again, because it is highly contagious.
Mercy is doing vaccine outreach to combat this by opening their vaccine clinics for walk-ins and by making special arrangements for those unable to make those clinic times.
We're doing everything we can to get as many people vaccinated as possible. We continue to highly encourage vaccination for those individuals that haven't been vaccinated yet.
Also doing more vaccine outreach is the Community Clinic of Southwest Missouri. They say with the increase in local cases and the emergence of the Delta variant, they're seeing more people interested in the vaccine than they have in weeks.
Whenever the increase of new strains was coming out and new cases were coming about, we started a pretty significant increase in requests for vaccines. So I'd say we've doubled the number of vaccines that we've been giving just in the last couple of weeks.
Experts say with this surge, it's more important now more than ever to get vaccinated. In Joplin and Carthage, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Health officials say vaccines are readily available and the most effective way to fight the virus. CDC says Oklahoma is last in the nation when it comes to testing for COVID variants. The report has some health officials concerned as the state's daily COVID-19 cases have jumped more than 100% since the beginning of June. Officials say part of the reason is that they test only for variants when there's a large outbreak of cases.
I'm not sure why testing is so low. It is available at almost every primary care clinic or all of our health departments. You can test. People just aren't as concerned with it right now, and it's probably because it's summertime. It's in the back of their mind. They're not thinking about it as much.
Health officials say the best way to protect yourself from variants is to get vaccinated. Starting today, Oklahomans returning to the workforce can apply to receive a $1,200 back to work incentive. It's available to anyone who returns to work and works at least 32 hours a week for 6 weeks. Extra federal unemployment benefits ended this weekend in Oklahoma. Authorities arrest 2 suspects in connection with the death of this Pea Ridge, Arkansas police officer. He was 23-year-old police veteran who served with the Pea Ridge Police Department for 3 years. At around 11:30 Saturday morning, Rogers PD alerted the Pea Ridge Police Department about a car they had been following. Around noon, Pea Ridge officers spotted the car at the White Oak gas station. When they approached, police say the suspects rammed their car into a Pea Ridge police car. In doing so, the suspects ran over Officer Kevin Apple, then drove away. The suspects were later arrested. One suspect, 18-year-old Elijah Andazola, is charged with capital murder. The other suspect has not been officially charged. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a MoDOT supervisor was hit and killed today by a driver on northbound Route 273 at the intersection of Route 371 in Platte County. MoDOT identified the supervisor as Lloyd Crawford, a longtime maintenance worker in the Kansas City district. He was 61. Troopers say Crawford was killed when he was hit by a pickup while putting out water over the roadway signs on Route 273 near Tracy Drive. He was not in a vehicle, and police said the driver of the pickup stopped. MoDOT said Crawford had nearly 18 years of service and was working as the Platte City maintenance supervisor. Still ahead, Joplin's business community is seeing some growth. We look at how much and how long it could continue, and how the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri will use a $25,000 donation. A lot of construction taking place in Joplin, from homes to businesses and to all things in between. KOAM's Chris Warner joins us live from downtown Joplin with more.
Well, many projects like the Cornell complex here behind me are taking shape across the Joplin area, but this isn't the only project underway. From new construction to rehabilitation, there's a lot going on. Now, in the downtown area alone, work on the new Cornell complex is continuing as steel beams rise from what once was a simple parking lot at 7th and Wall. Just a block away at 7th and Pearl, work is progressing on the new Jasper County Courthouse, which will replace the existing building. And the work goes beyond just the downtown area. Site work is underway for a new Brahms at 26th and Main, and site work is getting started on the new 32nd Street place, which will be anchored by Menards. And officials say it doesn't stop there.
There is ongoing efforts to attract additional retail opportunities that will add to the livability of Joplin. We're working on some things, including grocery stores, movie theaters, to really make this community a little more dynamic and have more things to do.
Now, tonight at 9, we'll hear more about some of these projects and what they could mean for the city's future. Reporting live from West 8th Street in downtown Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Chris, thanks. Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri plans to use a $25,000 donation to bring an academic support program to its club. The Panda Cares Foundation donated the money.
It's very exciting receiving this donation from the Panda Cares Foundation because we get to allow our kids to continue with these academic enrichment programs, which will allow them to be better in school, and it will allow them to gain better leadership opportunities.
Panda Cares is the philanthropic arm of Chinese restaurant chain Panda Express. Later, bear sightings are becoming more common in Missouri, but it's where they're showing up in the St. Louis area that's causing some problems.
Plus, more showers and thunderstorms are going to be rolling in over the next few days. I'll break that down for you coming up next. Well, of course, we have more showers, more thunderstorms for us today, and we've had that flash flooding issue over the past few days. Very heavy amounts of rain Saturday night, and then we had another big cluster that rolled through yesterday, then again last night, and then showers and thunderstorms for us during the afternoon hours today. Look at over the past 24 hours. You can see last night's cluster, and then early this morning another cluster rolled through, and then we have this batch which has been working through over the past few hours. But check out rainfall amounts. This is over the past 48 hours, but where you start to see the magenta into the purple, that's showing us 7, 8, 9 inches of rain. So a lot of areas have picked up tremendous rain. Southern parts of Ottawa County down toward Grand Lake, over towards Seneca, and then also Neosho. That's where the heaviest rain has been. Still even in Joplin, 3, 4, 5 inches. And then most of southeastern Kansas kind of in that 1 to 3 inch range. But with continued rain over the next few days, that's why we have flash flood watches and warnings, which are in effect as we go into the next couple days. This afternoon band continues to lift toward the north. The individual cells within this line have been weakening a bit. We've had a few strong storms, nothing severe, but these are still pretty good little storms, really from Nevada stretching back toward Pittsburgh, and then a little bit stronger once you get into Oklahoma, let's say back toward Bartlesville. But if we zoom in, you can see the heaviest rain really from Pittsburgh north, just to the south of Fort Scott, and then over toward Nevada, Lamar, and then we can track a little bit farther southwest. Here's Girard, and then over toward Parsons, and then also Independence. What's going to happen here is this band continues to lift north and weekends, and then we'll get additional storms, which will start to get going as we go through the overnight hours tonight. All right, here's 9:30, some hit and miss, scattered thunderstorms. Another batch really increases late tonight, mainly after midnight, so it'll be kind of a loud night. Scattered thunderstorms into the morning, and then I think we'll get a break, or at least a good chunk of us will start to get a break as we go into the morning hours tomorrow. Of course, temperatures cooler with the clouds and the showers. Most of us are sitting into lower 70s. Currently outside, 7th and Rangeline, 73. Northeasterly winds are light. Of course, our relative humidity is high at 96%. Through the evening hours, I think our temperatures are going to hold fairly steady, and then we'll drop off near 70 for an overnight low later on tonight. Unfortunately, we continue to get rain chances in the forecast over the next few days. For us tomorrow, I think the best chances for rain will be our northwestern counties, but we're still going to get some hit and miss storms across the region. It's not going to be near as widespread as what we are seeing today. I would say 40 to 50% of us will see some type of rain tomorrow. 68 to start, 80 by noon, high temp of 85. But as we go into tomorrow night, scattered thunderstorms continue. And then on Wednesday, they're going to be a little bit more widespread, very similar to what we have seen today. So we're going to have some more heavy rain, especially on Wednesday. And that's why, again, we have that flash flood threat over the next couple days. 85 tomorrow, 85 on Wednesday, 83 Thursday. We do start to dry out quite a bit as we head into the weekend, and temperatures fantastic for the 4th of July.
Yeah, it's rare that we see 80s, much less low 80s on the 4th.
Looks good.
And the fire risk will be less than usual because
that's
the
always
ground
good
will
news.
be wet. Thanks. Still ahead, why some rural Kansas City area residents are considering forming their own town. And Missouri conservation officials deal with St. Louis suburban bear sightings. People living on the outskirts of a sprawling industrial park in eastern Kansas hope that creating their own town will protect their rural lifestyle from encroaching development. Opposition to the massive logistics park Kansas City intermodal facility has been brewing for months. Boiled over after the Edgerton City Council earlier this year agreed to rezone 700 acres to make way for more industrial properties. That's brought the development closer to the homes residents say they bought to be surrounded by fields and pastures. They hope that incorporating their own town will give them more say over their own fates. Some residents of the St. Louis, Missouri area have reported a string of bear sightings recently. One woman thought she was delusional when she saw the animal crossing the street. Kim St. Young has that story.
The first thought, maybe it's a fox, a raccoon Sarah Daly's camera was picking up in her Wildwood backyard.
We have all kinds of things out here, so I don't really think twice when it goes off like crazy.
When she looked closer,
And I zoomed in, I was like, that is not a raccoon, that is a bear.
just steps from her home around 5 Sunday morning.
I was just blown away. I was like, did I really see that? I was like, nope, I'm pretty confident that's a bear that was just in my backyard.
It didn't stay for long.
It walked around the deck and then like up to the deck, and I have banana peppers and green peppers and a couple other things on the deck. He just kind of sniffed them, and then like you can see in the video, he just kind of walks around and off into the woods.
Just hours later, there were multiple bear sightings in this Chesterfield neighborhood near Baxter Road and Wild Horse Creek, about 6 miles away from where a bear was spotted in Wildwood. Of course, the question is that the same bear, or is there more than one?
Oh, I don't know. I just know he was a big brown bear.
Andrea Penner would know.
I just thought I was sleep deprived. You know, I'm like, this isn't happening.
She was sitting in her car around 8:45 and out walks the bear across the street.
And I started honking my horn on the car, and he just kind of looked over and then looked back, and that was it.
These sightings follow at least a half dozen sightings across the St. Louis area recently, from Brentwood, Richmond Heights, the Metro East, and Pacific. It appears the bear sightings may be far from over.
I thought I was going to pass out.
Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Private First Class James Gagnon. The Pittsburgh, Oklahoma native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Private First Class James Gagnon. He's tonight's four-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, going to have more on the rebounding business growth in Joplin after a standstill during the pandemic. Also, the death toll continues to rise in Florida after that condo collapse. And going to catch up with the cast of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Why? Because the film is turning 50 years old. That, of course, much more coming your way tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Jordan, thanks. A British man has broken the Guinness record for stacking the most M&Ms. British civil engineer Will Cutbill broke the world record with a grand total of 5. Yeah, 5 M&Ms. The previous record was just 4. It might sound easy, but yeah, just try it. You'll see. It took Cutbill hours to complete the task, and when he finished, he celebrated by eating 5 M&Ms. Took him considerably less time to eat them than to stack them. I don't know how well that's policed. You know, you smash it a little or you get it a little damp and it's going to stack more easily.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people have for the last year.
I guess that's true.
The weather.
Yeah, try to stay dry. And of course, watch for rising water. Showers, thunderstorms continue the next few days.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.